17th ranked team in the land, the USC Trojans. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. Trojans will put it away to start the game. And he's going to bring this one out. Gets it across the 20 to the 21, and not quite what he would have picked up just taking the touchback. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. They'll run it with Wilson. Keeps it moving for a 3-yard gain to the 24.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. They'll leave it with him. Got the first down, looking for more. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
You want to settle everybody in on the road? You want to take the nerves away? Run the football. Really, really good job. The offensive line, they're physical and nasty. They're not nervous. They're not worried about this crowd getting loud. They just want to hit you right in the mouth, and they started the game off with some good physicality.
They're going to ride this running back.
And that's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down, the defense thinks you might be running the football. You still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Back to pass. Under fire. Intercepted, and the first drive ends with a pick.
This offense knew coming into this game it was not going to be easy throwing against this defense. They're at the top of virtually every major statistical category when it comes to pass D, and the quarterback just found out the hard way, throwing a pick on the opening drop.
This offense has it with really good field position. Pulls and throws off the RPO. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. They've generated some momentum with excellent performances in Big Ten play, and you can see them growing game by game.
And that's a big deal, too, in the new-look Big Ten Conference. Back in the day when there were divisions, you know, it was a toss-up every year who was going to win the Big Ten West. That was the easier division. But now, it's just who are the best 2 teams out of all these teams, all these quality teams. So it's impressive that this team, David, has put themselves in position to play for the championship.
You ain't lying, especially in this conference. Let's be honest, the Big Ten and the SEC, they've separated themselves from everybody else. And so you're competing in this conference, middle of the season. You can finish strong. Now we're not just talking.
Throws toward the end zone. Touchdown Trojans! A great catch and run for 6.
This offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick, so explosive. They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. Bounces through the end zone. It's a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. And Wisconsin has its offense back on the field. Finding themselves down 7-0. They'd love to get a drive going here. Wilson on the carry. Fighting off the defender. Picks up a useful 5-yard chunk after the 30-yard line.
Man, is it nice to be able to hand the football to a guy that can break tackles, that can make something out of nothing. Just, it makes it so much easier on offense. You can hit that big play, the big home run. Just the ability to break tackles can make a back really special.
Back to pass on second down. The throw to the outside is complete. Finally stopped at the 46 after a 15-yard gain.
Out routes are very much about timing. It's got to be a quick, decisive movement from the quarterback. As soon as he sticks that foot in the ground, you know he's breaking out. Throw it right now so he can go make you a play. Great pitch, great catch.
The offense setting up shop at the 46, first and 10. Give to the running back. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. Second and 8 coming up.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
After picking up a couple, it's second and 8. Wants to go up top. Fires to the middle. Complete to the left. Lots of green grass as he gets it to the 31. We always talk about the Wisconsin ground game, but the Badgers have had some efficient quarterbacks in recent years, too.
And just finding the guy that fits, right? They're a scheme fit, a system fit. Finding that guy that can be a complement to the run game. That's what you want with a great Wisconsin offense.
The Badgers are marching down the field. From the gun to give, looking for room. Breaks into the open. Nice pickup on the ground there, and they'll move the sticks with the first down.
First down, you know you always want to establish the running game. How about this offense? Nothing fancy. Run the football, be physical, get a big gain.
And the Badgers have it with a first and 10. They'll throw it from the red zone. Hauls it in. Got enough space. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Badgers. These two have spent plenty of time together. That was almost telepathic, David.
No doubt, and quarterbacks and wide receivers throw all offseason to get on the same page. You can see he hits them in stride. That's why he gets the touchdown.
And he knocks the extra point through the uprights. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. This Trojan offense is ready to go back to work. Last drive went for 6. We'll see if they can do it again. Wants to throw on first down. Quickly out to the tight end. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
And nice job by the defense staying glued to it. Getting him on the ground as soon as he catches the football. Knowing he's a threat. I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the D.
The offense changing the play. Wants to fire on second down. He's going to let one fly down the middle. And the incomplete pass taking a shot on second down, and they'll be left with a third down.
There's a lot of QBs that when they get hit and when they get hurried and when they get pressured, they become very average. Really nice job by the defense pressuring the quarterback.
Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the big fella. Love to see these third down conversions on offense, and they're out to their own 39-yard line.
That's just a very easy, comfortable throw for the quarterback. He knows he has his big target, tight end, running across the field on the drag. Nice play.
The run from the shotgun. There he goes. At the 30. 10. Touchdown, Trojan. Once he got some room, it was over.
Well, this offense defense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They are going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. The give to the tailback. Banging, slithering, whatever it takes to get that ball up to the 32.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
Going with the ground game left. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going and hand in the ball.
The Badgers are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Takes it from the gun on 3rd down. Unloads it left. Intercepted. A first half turnover can swing momentum. He'll be stopped, but not before getting the football and picking up big yardage on the return. What a play there. And guys, USC has the ball back and sending the offense onto the field. The early scripts have worked trying to add to this 14-7 lead. Looking for space. It's Sheriff. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. So no room to run there, and you wonder after that loss on first down where they turn now.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important for the defense to win these first downs, right? You want to create negative plays to make this offense so much more.
Oh, he's got some space. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Southern Cal. Man, he didn't just put it on his numbers. If he were throwing it at a front porch, he would have put that right in the keyhole. What a precise pass.
Right in the keyhole, right on the button, right on the face mask, whatever it was. Great throw, great timing. Nice job by the quarterback.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll be able to get off one more play before quarter's end. RPO complete to open the drive. They get him on the ground, and with that, we'll head to the second quarter. As we head to the quarter break, it is USC holding the lead. And they were able to build that lead into double figures. Let's take a quick look at our early stats before we move on. Now, the challenge here, they've taken a punch, but they can't let it get out of hand as we start the second. First play of the period, first down here. From the gun, they'll try the middle. And that's a very productive first down play in bringing up 2nd and 3.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive, you turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
And the Badgers with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Looking to fire. quickly to the tight end. Taken out of bounds after a good pickup there. They're in striking distance at the 37.
Man, these plays are really, really simple. They're really easy to run. I like it. Just drop back as a quarterback, see the big fella, wait for him to get open, hit him, get a nice positive gain.
They'll run it from the gun. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride in stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. To the ground with the back. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Oh, you know what time it is when the defense gets that stop on 3rd down. Fist up in the air. Nice job getting to the quarterback, putting some pressure on him, hitting him, forcing the incompletion. 4th down, baby.
On 4th down, trying to find his man. Hit as he throws, and the ball goes right to the ground, incomplete.
You know, offensively in that situation, 4th down, you're throwing for it. Everything has to go right, or someone just needs to be able to make a play to keep the drive alive. They couldn't get it done, and now the offense is coming off the field.
This Trojan offense is ready to go back to work. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect it.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
Pulls and fires complete. Turning it on. The 30. Running inside the 20. Touchdown USC. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing. No midseason doldrums for these guys as they push out the lead in week 6.
You know, oftentimes in college football, the best offenses are the ones that can create explosive plays just like you saw right there. They're top 10 in the nation in points per game because they don't have to drive the field. They've got dudes scattered all over this offense that can take it the distance on any given play.
The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. Okay, here comes the Wisconsin offense onto the field. Trailing by 3 touchdowns. If you're going to get back in it, David, the time to start is right now.
Got to start now.
And he is finding wide open defenders all over the field. His 3rd interception of the day. Touchdown Trojans! How about this defense
huge pick six, and that is one of the reasons this defense has been so dominant all season long. They don't give up big plays, but they take the football away. And once they do, they've got better athletes than you do. They're hard to bring down. They can flip the game on a dime.
And the extra point sails through, and they have a 35-7 lead. They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Here comes the Wisconsin offense to go back to work. The big thing now, don't get rattled by that last pick six, David.
Nah, it was a big mistake. Obviously, the defense took advantage of it, but you got to put it behind you. Jesse, I'm sure you know a thing or two about throwing a pick six and how to rebound.
I believe I've only thrown one in my life, but yes, I do, because of that singular instance. I'll say this. You can't let that play beat you twice. You got to go out, not try to get it all back here in one play. Just execute the offense.
They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down.
And these short yardage situations, it all comes down to the up front. Like, who can win the battle up front? Can you get a hat on the hat? And they do. This offensive line, they get on the D-line, they create just enough space, understand short yard situation, fall forward, and get a first down.
Ball is at the 35. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. Makes the grab. Brought down at the 46, but he got 10 on the play.
And there's finally a bright spot for this offense in the passing game, completing that on third down. I know we're in the second quarter. They're trailing by a lot, but you need something positive to happen here to build some momentum. Maybe they can build on that, drive the field, score some points before going in here at halftime, and get a little juju going.
Wants to go up top on first down. Got the quick pass. He gets it up to midfield, forced out of bounds at the 50.
Nice job there. Good timing between the QB and the wide receiver executing that out route.
Wide receivers everywhere on 2nd and 6. Back to pass. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's just a great play by the defender and great timing. It was the hit that forced that incompletion.
Now facing a 3rd and long from the 50-yard line. Here we go. Ready. From the gun, wants to pass. Quickly complete. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down.
I love the defense. How about the physicality on that one? That's a tough route to defend, and he catches the football, but what does he do? He gets him on the ground right now. Good physical tackle. No yak on that catch.
So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Converts on 4th down, and he's still going. Really nice pickup on that one as they get it to the 36. It'll be first down.
Well, you got to give this quarterback a ton of credit because he showed tremendous confidence on that throw. That wasn't just trying to throw to the sticks. That was being aggressive and throwing it down the field. Not a high percentage throw, but he had confidence in his guy to win one-on-one, and they keep the drive alive.
The Badgers will line it up on 1st and 10. We're at the 2-minute timeout, and these guys really need to build a little momentum to cut into this lead before halftime. They've got it at the 36 on 1st and 10. To the air on first down. Throws to the wideout. Another interception. This guy just can't find his own players. And they'll get him down after a solid return.
And he makes another momentum-building play. His 2nd interception mentioned in the first half, he can feel where the football's going, got a good beat on this offense, and making plays early and often for his club.
Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. They'll start this drive going to the air. Looking down the middle. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. The freshman brought down after bringing that one in.
And I love that play call. There's a great example of sudden change situation, right? Defense gets the turnover. You get it right back. The very first play, let's be aggressive. Let's take a shot and see if we can catch the defense napping. Boy, oh boy, did that ever work out great.
Now on first down from the 43-yard line. Running back searching for a hole. Running like he wants that football as he gets to the 37.
Really nice first down run. And you're seeing why this running back is an every down type. He can run between the tackles. He can run outside. He can catch the football. He can block. This guy can do it all.
To the air on second down. Here comes the heat. Touchdown, Trojans. They went for the big play, and boy, did it ever pay off. My goodness, he is putting on a laser show right now. Liner, Palmer, Pat Hayden, Marinovich, you name it. These guys are going to be looking up at this dude.
Just spinning the bean all over the yard, and that's why you come to USC. Those names you mentioned, and you know that ball's going to be in your hands. You get to go make plays, and he is doing exactly that.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. The ball squirts through the end zone. That'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. And the offense is content with where it is. They'll take a knee.
That wouldn't be my personal choice. I'm more, let's put the foot on the accelerator. Let's go try to get points. But I get it. Right before the half, go in, make some adjustments, come out, and possibly try to turn this thing around.
Content with what they have, the quarterback takes a knee. And the running game has gone in the wrong direction. The offense tries to turn it around and go forward on third down. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. And the Badgers will boot it away to start the second half. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. And guys, USC has the ball back and sending the offense onto the field. Not sure they had to adjust much as they'll try to build on this lead. Out of the chute, quick toss to the right. A quick tackle made, but he's got ready for the first down.
A lot of smiles right now in this offense. They've got a big lead, and they're just having fun out there. They're still throwing the football. These receivers are still getting open. Pass protection is still great. This quarterback's thinking to himself, man, I'm going to be padding my stats here in the second half of this game because everything we're dialing up is working.
The biggest rule change for me, if I could make one in all of college football, would be illegal man downfield. And when they run these RPO plays and those linemen start to creep further and further down the field, I would love for the refs to call those more often. It's a cheating play, basically, running these RPOs. So hard to stop. Nice execution by the offense, but probably cheating too.
And the Trojans will snap it on 1st and 10. Quarterback making checks. Looking downfield on 1st down. Got a man. It's Sheriff. Breaks into the open. How about those sweet twinkle toes-like moves as he gets to the 38?
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
Going to swing it on 2nd down. A little floater there that falls incomplete.
And you've seen this formula work in all levels of football. You pressure the quarterback, his numbers start to drop. He's not as efficient. Nice job by the defense.
The Trojans come to the ball trying to pick up this 3rd and short. Looking to throw for it. Oh, it's picked off. Not the second half start they'd hoped for. Trying to take it back. The 20. He's at the running free, going to the end zone, but way back behind him, there's a flag on the field. An easy decision there for the offense to decline the penalty and take the touchdown. They'll try to tack one more on their score. And it's up and good. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And as the ball makes its way into the end zone, it'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. This Trojan offense is ready to go back to work. Well, the good news is they threw a touchdown pass last time. It was just to the wrong team, Jesse.
Well, that's an unfortunate part of the game for quarterbacks, but guess what? They do happen, so you've got to be able to turn the page here and lead this offense.
Well, I think you know this defense is going to be aggressive. They're going to jump routes. They're going to play aggressive. You got to take advantage of that. Maybe use that this time to your advantage.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. Red pass hits complete. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
Our coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
Somebody needs to make a play here. It's 3rd and long from the 26. From the gun, wants to pass. Fakes the grab. He's going to come up about 5 yards short of the line to gain.
Ooh, and that's a nice sigh of relief for the defense too, right? There was a broken tackle. The guy made it look like he was going to pick up the first, but because of great effort defensively, they were able to get the stop, and now they're setting up 4th down.
Quarterback making adjustments. On 4th down, looking for the completion. Unloads to the wideout. And that one falls incomplete. A huge stand by the defense.
And listen, obviously, you know, at this area of the field, it's a question, it's a debate whether or not you go for that on 4th down. At the end of the day, though, I think this coach believes in his own playmakers, and he's got guys on offense that he feels can make a play in that type of situation, and he's got confidence in him. That time they weren't able to come up with it. Be curious to see what this guy does if they're in a similar situation as this game moves on.
And Wisconsin has its offense back on the field. They'll run it out of the shotgun.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Wants to go up top. The quick out. There he goes. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
That's a huge throw for the offense, but they're down by a ton. They're going to need a lot more of that, and it's not going to be easy considering the defense knows they're probably going to be throwing the ball every play here in the 2nd half moving forward.
And that one's incomplete.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down, he might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Looking to fire. Makes the grab on the left. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers.
I like the aggressiveness by this defense. You got to play tight on the wide receivers. There's not a lot of space on the field. You got to be aggressive, and you got to make tackles.
This offense simply has to pay this off on 3rd and goal. They desperately need a touchdown. Looking to get it in. And they've got him down after the short completion, but they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. With a double-digit deficit here in the second half, they're going to go for it on 4th down. He wants to throw it into the end zone. It's incomplete, and the defense comes up with a stop.
And the offense stays aggressive. They try to throw the football and just weren't on the same page. It was an incompletion. He could have done a better job, I think, throwing the ball to his receiver and maybe making it where it's more of a 50-50 ball where he can make a play. Defense gets the big stop.
Motion from the wideout. From the gun, the running back has it. Gives him a little more breathing room, a 3-yard gain out to the 7.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down, and they got to keep that up here in the second half.
That's the end of the period, and USC has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. I guess if you're an optimist, the stage is set for a massive fourth-quarter comeback. After swapping ends of the field, that gave them a little time to figure out how they'll open the final period here on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Finds his back in the middle. And they'll stop him about 5 yards short of the first. So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Converts on 4th down. Still going. Across the 20 and out of bounds at the 21-yard line. And just like that, they're out of trouble. Maybe this will breathe a little life into this offense, which has been flatlined in the second half. Here's 1st and 10. Pulls and fires it complete to the right. Just what they were looking for to get this drive rolling there out to the 35.
He came into this year with big expectations. Everybody expecting him to stat it up. And now with that last completion, he's already over 2,000 yards passing for the season.
Looking to throw on 1st down. That's caught. It's Shields. Oh, he's got some space. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a 1st down. They showed great trust in their quarterback right there, and why not? He's had an outstanding game.
An outstanding game, has taken care of the football. Now, late in the game, you got the lead. That 1st down now tells me now it's time to start running the football, run the clock, get out of here with the dub.
Wants to throw on 1st down. Whoa, does he turn that loose down the middle? And that one's incomplete. Worth taking a shot there, but couldn't hook up.
Well, on that last deep shot, it looked to me like the quarterback probably forced that ball into coverage. But can you really blame him, guys? I mean, these two have already hooked up for 2 touchdowns in the game. If I'm him, I'm thinking the same thing. Even when he's covered, he's open. He's shown the ability to climb the ladder and make contested catches, so I don't mind him taking another shot there.
Complete in the middle. And he's knocked down immediately, but
trying to get this guy Heisman consideration, but the fact that they're still throwing the ball at this point of the game with a lead like they have is surprising, I gotta be honest.
And the Trojans will have it 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. Fires to the big fella.
Nice quick throw there. It's so important for quarterbacks to be able to find a rhythm and to be comfortable and confident. You want to just get the ball out quickly, make it an accurate and easy throw. And you can tell that these two guys, they rep that play in practice all the time, and it's now showing up here on game.
The Trojans with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. It's caught. Touchdown, Southern Cal. Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board. They build this 4th quarter lead, and they are just minutes away from going 5-0.
Pure domination all game long for this offense. Whether they've been running the football, whether they've been throwing the football, critical down and distances, situationally all up and down the field. This defense has had no answer for these guys. What an impressive performance by the O.
It bounds through the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Okay, here comes the Wisconsin offense onto the field. That last drive was promising at times, but stalled out. They turned it over on downs, Jesse.
I think they got to do a better job here, just being...
And that is his 5th interception. If he comes out to try for 6, he'll be lucky. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back. Great place to start for this offense. The give as they work on that clock. Fights off the defender. Strong run, picks up 6 down to the 22-yard line.
And I know you can play these late-game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position. You're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
Zings it complete to the right. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score.
Look, a lot of offensive coordinators out there, a similar situation with a lead like this, they'd definitely be running the ball at this point. They'd probably take their starting quarterback out of the game potentially, but not this unit. They are still staying aggressive. They're still taking shots.
And he's got it in the end zone for a touchdown. This is an absolute blowout.
And how about this squad, man? Looking good again. Like, I feel like we say this week in and week out, just continuing to remain undefeated. Whatever it takes, offense, defense, special teams, they have been a good unit, and that's why their ranking is so high.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Hey, fellas, here's a quick update on a top 25 clash today. Michigan State is ahead in East Lansing, but that's not exactly Kenneth Walker III out there running the ball. This game is a long way from being over. They're up by 7 over Indiana. We'll circle back to this Big Ten battle. If anything big happens, you should know about.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Here comes the Wisconsin offense to go back to work. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first play.
No, it certainly can't. I think one good way, David, to help your quarterback turn the page is just...
Turning it on! Picks up the first down. Across the 40 out of bounds at the 41, and a big pickup has this offense on the move.
A huge gain. Probably would have loved to say this earlier in the game. Probably would have loved to have some of these runs and had a little bit more success running the football earlier. Now, I might think about maybe cranking the tempo and probably, if I'm going to need these runs, I'm going to need to go ahead and score on these runs, or I'm going to need to start chucking the football.
How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line?
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
him in the sticks here on second down. Takes the handoff. It's Gossett. Got enough for the first. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
That's a really nice game. It just would have been really nice to see this from this offense earlier. Now you're getting to the point where there's a couple of thought processes. Do I build momentum for next week? Do I try to get this offense, the ground game clicking, or do I throw the football every play and try to make this football game close?
And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up.
Well, I understand they're trying to catch the defense off guard by running the football, expecting them to be in some kind of zone coverage, but you're trailing late in the game. You're going to have to throw to win it, and that's what I'd expect them to do on this next play.
The Badgers in a good spot here with second and short. Give to the back. And a really short game before he gets a whole bunch of company from the defense.
And this defense is more than happy with the offense running the football. They've done a great job today. I mean, they've really made this offense work so hard, earn everything they've gotten, and that's why this lead is ballooned like it has.
They tried to go smash mouth on third and short, and it did not work against this defense. This is what an elite team does. They know they're better. They go out. They take the figurative sledgehammer and hit them right between the eyes.
And they just look good in every phase of the game. If I'm on the coaching staff, I don't know what you could ask for your guys to do better. I think the challenge now for this team is going out next week and trying to play with the same type of intensity and the same level of execution.
Well, Jesse, it's easy to look good on the field when you look that good in your unit. Like when you look that good coming off the bus. Those dudes are good. This is a great team, and they proved it. Just domination from start to finish.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.